Hello and welcome to my channel, The Way What Is Truth. Now, I just visited this village called Linby, which is roughly 25 to 30 minutes away from Arnold, Nottingham, where I live at the moment. And I just found this rather charming little church here. So I'm going to have a walk around. Obviously, I don't know anything about the history of this church, but I shall be looking it up later on the internet. And I will write some information. But yeah. So I won't be doing much talking as I walk around here. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go around the back part here. There's my mum waiting for me in my car. Let me just do a little quick close-up. There we are. You probably won't be able to see her very well, but she's in there. Yeah. So. Yes, I absolutely love old buildings, and I'm just guessing off the top of my head that most of it is original. But this could be anywhere from like the 11th century, the 12th century. I just don't know, so I will look it up on the internet obviously and write down some information. What I also love about old churches is the overall quietness and the atmosphere, and I love the old gravestones as well. There's just something about a church graveyard that I quite like. It's peaceful, that's the best way to describe it. Aha. Would you look at that? Right. I don't want to make the video too long because my mum is waiting for me. This is one of the places that I may end up living at, but I'm not sure at the moment, so we're just having a look around at the moment. I have, of course, lived on my own since my early 20s, but I might end up moving in with my mum, but I'm not sure yet. But yes, it's all a bit up in the air at the moment, a bit stressful. But we'll find a solution anyway. That's life. Wow. Okay. Right, so this is the back of the church. Now, yes, that building right in front of us looks like it's been added on at a later date. That there has possibly been filled in. It could have been a much older door and archway there at some point, I'm guessing. I think that's obviously much older. Yeah, it will be, for sure. Right, so I better get a move on. Nothing of interest here, it's just a bin. Right, that's interesting. Easter time? Right, so it's a lovely breeze. I do love this breeze. Oh, you see these those little slits there? I would guess 13th, 14th century, off the top of my head. That you see that part in the middle where it all looks fresh, that would have been repaired at some point. So the original architecture, so to speak, on the inside of the window would have been replaced, but the actual window itself, the actual outline of it, could be like 600-700 years old easily. It's yeah. It's difficult to tell how old that door is. Could have 300-400 years of age. You see, you get good at this kind of thing, although I'm not an historian or a church expert or anything. but nonetheless you sort of get a feel for them as you've seen as many old churches as I have. So yeah, what can you say, it's a cosy little church. It kind of reminds me of St Mary's in Arnold. You'll have to excuse me if you can't hear me very well because it is windy, but I'm trying to talk up close to the phone, so although there's a bit of a breeze you should be able to hear at least 98-99% of what I'm saying, hopefully. So I hope you enjoyed it. I better get a move on. I know I've said that already. If I was here on my own I might have recorded for another, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes extra, but it's neither here nor there really, is it? Right, let's have a nice cosy up close view of the archway here. Now this very much looks very original to me. Could be 700-800 years old, it depends when the church was first erected. But do you know something I found about these old churches is that oftentimes even the so-called experts, which they are experts, it's fair to say, even they don't know the exact date when these churches were made. You see, sometimes they have an approximate idea and they can round it off to a 20 to 30 year period, let's say in the 13th or 14th century or whenever, and they can say, well, it was within that period of time. But, let me see if I can open this door. No, it's locked, of course it is. Keyhole? No, that's weird. No, it's locked, unfortunately, otherwise I could have had a bit of a nosy around in there. I could have got arrested for trespassing or something. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Bye bye and take care.